Defense, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant calls Lauren Page.
Could you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause now and hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. You can have a seat right there. You pull yourself right up to the mic.
Good morning. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good morning, Mrs. Page. I'm going to ask you to give your full name, first name, last name, and spell it, mostly for our stenographer, if you can do that.
Sure. Lauren Page, Lauren, Page, Page.
Okay, I'm just also going to note that because the windows are open, occasionally we have fire trucks go by, so if we hear that, we'll stop our conversations, okay?
Sure.
Thank you. Mrs. Page, you are the mother of Kelsey Fitzsimmons, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you see her in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And you have to say yes or no again
Okay.
for the stenographer.
Yes.
And what's she wearing today?
A white blazer.
Can I have the record reflect, Your Honor, that this witness has identified her daughter as the defendant?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, Kelsey's father is Stephen Fitzsimmons, is that correct?
Yes.
And is he your ex-husband?
Yes.
And you are now married to William Page, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us just roughly, you were together with William Page since 2011, and then you've been married since 2022, is that correct?
Correct.
And you have another child besides Kelsey with Stephen Fitzsimmons, is that right?
Yes.
And who is that?
Stephen Jr.
And is he 6 years older than Kelsey?
Yes.
Your husband, Will Page, also has 2 children from a prior marriage, is that correct?
Correct.
And who are they?
Madison Page and William Page.
Okay. And how old are those children?
Madison will be 18 on the 31st of this month, and Willie is 20.
Okay. And those families are friendly, are they not?
Yes.
Where did you grow up, Mrs. Page, and go to high school?
Arlington, Mass.
And did you have education after high school?
Yes, I did a 2-year paralegal program at Aquinas Junior College in Newton.
And did you become employed after school?
I did. I worked for Shawmut Bank.
Okay. And in general, what was the nature of that first job you had?
Teller assistant manager.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And since that time, you've been employed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live now, Mrs. Page?
Methuen, Mass.
And I won't ask you the address, we don't need that. And where do you work now?
I work for Sullivan Mechanical. It's in Wilmington.
In Wilmington. And how far away is your home from the North Andover home where Kelsey Fitzsimmons lived in June of 2025?
8 minutes.
And how about your place of work? How far away is that?
20.
Kelsey went to college, did she not?
Yes, she did.
And after that, did you stay close with her,
Yes.
close to her today?
I'm sorry?
Are you close with her also
Oh,
today?
yes. Yes.
And did Kelsey live in Methuen with you and Mr. Page, his son and daughter, from before Christmas 2025 until recently?
Yes.
When Kelsey finished college, did she do about 1.5 years of law school?
Yes.
And you're aware she applied to become a corrections officer in Essex County, is that correct?
Yes.
And she served as an Essex corrections officer before she went to the North Andover PD.
She did.
And all during that time, you were close in contact with her. Fair to say she was in your life, you were in hers?
Absolutely.
Okay. And again, what town do you and Will live in now?
Same, Methuen.
In Methuen. Okay. At some time, did Kelsey move to North Andover?
Yes.
And did she first have an apartment and then bought a house? Is that right?
Yes.
Where did Kelsey live when she served as a corrections officer?
Her apartment in North Andover.
And again, how far away is that from where you lived in Methuen and where you live now?
10 minutes.
Close drive, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that your daughter Kelsey was engaged to Justin Aylaian, did you not?
I did.
And you also knew that Kelsey had a child, of course, is that right?
Yes.
And that Justin was the father.
Yes.
You knew they were planning to get married in October of 2025?
Yes.
And did you know her fiance's parents' sister? Just yes or no?
Yes.
You had met them upon occasion and socialized with them, is that right?
Yes.
And you knew that they lived in Stowe, Massachusetts. Is that also correct?
Correct.
During this time that your daughter had her baby Cayden, did you ever babysit for him?
We did, yes.
And could you just tell generally, what kind of baby was he? Fussy, calm? Can you give us a description of the baby?
Cayden was very easygoing, very happy baby.
Easy to take care of?
Yes.
And generally, in your experience, when did he cry?
If he needed to eat,
When he was hungry?
yes.
And I'm going to draw your attention now to June 30th, 2025. And we're going to focus on that day. Cayden's about 4 months old, is that right?
Yes.
At that time? And where was Cayden living at the time on June 30th, 2025?
Phillips Brook Road in North Andover.
With Kelsey,
With
is that
Kelsey,
correct?
Yes.
Mrs. Page, did you know that Kelsey had been cleared to go back to work in a few days from June 30th?
Yes.
And on that day, were you aware that she was going to the North Andover Police Department in order to do some CPR training?
Yes.
Were you aware that she was going to take Cayden with her during that training?
I was aware.
I'm just going to ask you yes or no. Did Kelsey call you that day? This is June 30th.
Yes.
And at what time, any time after noon, do you recall that she called you?
2:30.
And did she give you some information about where she was headed when she talked to you?
Yes, she was going to meet Justin at the Common in North Andover.
Okay. And did she talk with you at some time to let you know if and when she was headed back to her house?
Yes.
Do you remember what time that was?
3:30.
And did you and she agree to meet at her house?
Yes, I met her at the house after work.
And about what time was that, if you recall?
3:30, 3:45.
Okay. And you were working that day, right?
Yes.
And your place of work was close enough that you could do that?
Yes, my route to and from work, I drove by her house.
So if you were going from Wilmington to Methuen, you would actually go by where Kelsey lived,
Yes.
correct? Do you remember what time you arrived again? What time did you get to Kelsey's house that afternoon from work?
I want to say it was 3:30, 3:45.
Okay. Who else was there when you got there?
No, I'm just Kels, a baby.
And Kelsey.
Yes.
And just generally, without giving us the conversation, what topic or topics did you discuss?
Kelsey was sad that Justin blew her off and didn't show up at the Common to meet her. She couldn't understand why. She was confused why he would ask her to come and then just ghost her.
And what would you say was her demeanor at that time when you were talking with her at home?
Sad, confused.
How long did you stay when you got there around 3:30?
I left around 5:20, 5:30.
And just in general, again, Mrs. Page, what were you doing while you were there with Kelsey and Cayden?
We sat in our living room, played with Cayden, talked. I did some dishes in our kitchen. Basically just sat and talked.
Okay. Do you know what time you left?
Between 5:20 and 5:30.
And where were you going immediately? Where were you headed to?
CVS in Methuen.
And originally you were going to CVS. Where were you originally headed after that?
Home.
And that's your home in Methuen?
Yes.
Right. Did you get another call from Kelsey while you were at the CVS? And as a result of that call, Mrs. Page, what did you do?
Went back to her house.
Do you recall what time you arrived at her house?
5:45.
So it's a pretty quick time between the time you left, went to CVS, and then went back. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us again the time to drive to CVS from Kelsey's house.
Under 10 minutes.
Okay. When you arrived at the house at that time, can you tell us what's the first thing you saw?
Police cars.
Okay. Did you go in the house?
Yes, I went right up.
And doors open. You've been in and out of that door before many times, correct?
Yes, went right up to her porch.
Did you see anything on the porch?
It's a police officer holding Cayden.
And at that time, did you know which police officer that was?
No.
He was holding Cayden, you said,
Yes.
correct?
I'm sorry, no.
police officer was in uniform, correct?
Yes.
And you didn't know who he was at the time.
No.
What happened next once you saw the police officer holding Cayden?
Cayden was crying, so I asked if I could take Cayden from him so I could settle him down.
And did the police officer give you Cayden?
He did.
Is that still on the porch outside, or were you inside?
Right on the porch, we exchanged the baby.
So you're holding Cayden, and what happens next?
I brought him inside to Kelsey's living room, where there was another police officer.
And did the officer who gave you Cayden also come into the house with you?
No,
Do you know where he went?
I don't.
Okay. So you are holding the baby, you're in the living room with another police officer. And can you tell us what happened next?
Justin walked in with his sister, Courtney.
And Justin is the fiance that we spoke about earlier, right?
Yes.
And his sister, what's her name?
Courtney?
They both came in while you were in the living room.
Yes, they walked in.
Do you know about how long you were there before they arrived?
Minutes.
Are you still holding the baby at this stage?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens next, Mrs. Page?
The officer in the living room asked me to hand Cayden to Justin.
And had either Kelsey or the police officer, when you arrived, told you about the restraining order? Just yes or no?
No.
And did you actually who did you give the baby to, I should say?
I handed the baby to Justin. Justin turned and handed Courtney the baby.
And what did they do next?
Left.
Did you have any conversation with them, just yes or no?
No.
Did they take anything for the baby with them, if you remember?
Car seat, I believe.
And they left together, if you recall. Is that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Mrs. Page, when you arrived, did you see your daughter on the first floor?
No.
Did you know where she was?
Upstairs.
And while you are downstairs, did you hear anything coming from the second floor? Just yes or no for now.
Yes.
Can you tell us what you heard?
I heard a gentleman say, Kelsey, no, Kelsey, no. And then 2 gunshots.
And can you give us some idea of how quickly those shots were connected to each other?
It was Kelsey, no, bang, bang.
Did you hear Kelsey say anything from the second floor?
No.
Could you hear her make any noises?
Yes.
And Mrs. Page, what happened next?
I saw Justin run by the windows on the porch, and after that, officers came in, EMTs came in, running up the stairs, and I was let out of the house. I was let out by an officer.
And what was your frame of mind, state of mind at that stage?
I was pretty upset.
And were you making any noise?
I was screaming.
When is the next time you saw your daughter, Mrs. Page?
At the trauma room at Mass General.
Your Honor, I have nothing further.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. You may stand down, thanks. And defense, you may call your next witness. Yes. Take maybe a 20-minute recess, and we will stand in recess.
All rise. Court stands at a 15-20-minute recess. Please exit the courtroom quietly for other sessions. Up and running.